Hey everyone, welcome to FoxMantis Radio. Breaking news! I got my boy William Instone here. He's a infamous writer, director, actor, DJ. He does it all in entertainment. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty damn good. How about you?
Man, I'm doing excellent now that you're here. You know, I love doing podcasts. It's always great to talk to somebody, pick their brain, and
Right
see how you been. So,
there's plenty of the pick at. Go ahead, man.
all right, man.
I'm an open book.
So here you are. Where are you originally from?
Well, it's a long story, I guess. We going way back for birth or where I grew up? I grew up in Marble Falls. How about let's just go with that?
So you're Texas born and raised?
Texas born native, yeah.
That's my boy. We're in Austin, Texas right now, those who don't know.
Yeah.
And so let's see. After high school, or maybe in high school, when did you go this entertainment route?
God, man, I got a guitar when I was 11 years old. And never could learn how to play the damn thing till I was about 14. It took me years to learn how to play that fucker. But I've been playing guitar, yeah, since I was just a kid, you know, and I always liked to perform. And, you know, I was in a few plays in school. I dug that, you know.
What kind of plays were you in? I was Smee in Peter Pan when I was like in elementary school.
I was like some animal, I think, in one. I mean, they were
I always got little roles after that. That was my biggest role, was elementary.
Yeah, I was the big fat kid in the back, so you know they didn't put me up front. So
those of you guys that don't know, he looks like the Undertaker in his prime, just a few inches shorter. But,
quite a bit shorter. He's like 6'10". I'm like
Still,
6
he
foot,
would take
6'1", somewhere like that. You know. But I actually met him at the theater down in Austin at the Metropolitan.
No way.
When we were watching Bad Santa, and I was in the and he was in the line in front of me, and that dude was fucking huge, man. I mean, I'm a pretty big dude, but he made me look small. I was like, God damn, I feel like a midget. So, really cool guy though, man. Real nice, you know. Talked to him in the line.
Dude, he's still wrestling.
Yeah, he just retired.
Did he just retire?
Yeah, WrestleMania, he went ahead and passed the torch and he retired finally.
He's sorry guys to bore you with wrestling stuff. I loved it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And is his like quote unquote brother Kane? Is he still in that too?
No, he's running for mayor, man.
What?
Yeah, he's running for a mayor.
Is it really his brother? Or is that
no?
Okay, just
they're
making
not brothers.
Sure.
No.
Oh God, wrestling's so fake.
Yeah, wrestling's very fake. I loved it as a kid. I keep up with it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I get on YouTube a lot, and I like to watch the podcasts where the old wrestlers tell stories about what it was like to be a wrestler, because that's what I wanted to be when I was young, you know. I wanted to be a wrestler, and I don't know, I never did it because of when I met some Texas wrestlers and went and built sets with them and rings with them and saw all the crap that they put their body through and how little money they made. I decided not to do it. I was like, nah, that's not for me, you know.
It was like Mick Foley was like getting body slammed in a bed of like tacks and
barbed wire and everything, stuff, man. Yeah, he was got the shit kicked out of him, and you know, hearing the stories back, you know, like Roddy Piper, R.I.P., had a great podcast for a long time. I used to listen to his stuff, and Steve Austin has a good podcast on.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You can listen to a lot of stuff, stories with the guys on there, you know. And I've always been into the martial arts and fighting, UFC and stuff like that.
UFC is awesome.
UFC pretty much changed my whole perspective on wrestling. I mean, I had changed prior to that, but I saw the first UFC back in the 90s, man.
No
it was
way.
like 92, I believe. Yeah, I'm kind of old, man.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm 31. I'm not too
okay.
I'm not too young.
Yeah. So
I'm in that middle point where I'm like, oh, God. Like 20-year-old chicks scare me.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy for that, dude.
I work in a strip club with 18, 19-year-old girls.
Oh, my God.
It's trying to talk to them sometimes is painful because the gap in generation is completely different.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of fuck with them sometimes. I'm like, can you name 5 planets in our solar system? Like,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can you name
Of course.
5? Go ahead.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Is Pluto a planet?
It's considered a planet again. It's a dwarf planet.
And what else?
The other one coming out, I don't remember the new name. Nibiru's kind of, it's off to the side.
It's coming for
what they
us,
claim.
bro.
Is it gonna come into our
it's like Fifth Element style.
And bring in the Anunnaki yes, I know about the Anunnaki.
Nice. I know a lot about the alien species, man.
I met Giorgio Tsoukalos. I went to one of his for those of you who don't know who Giorgio is, he's He's Ancient Aliens guy with the hair.
Yeah.
I went to one of
Like
his
the Don
lectures.
King of nerds.
Holy shit, it was badass. I'm not gonna lie, man. He has a very compelling.
Was that like 2 years ago?
This is a few years ago. This is more like 5
Was
years
it?
ago.
Okay.
I got a picture on Facebook. It's
Like first season.
I got to see
Ancient
when it
Aliens?
was probably second season.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he had a really cool lecture and was showing a lot of evidence that we don't see on the show. And I got to admit, man, it was badass. I dig stuff like that.
Me too. I'm a huge, let's not get into religion or anything.
Yeah.
Separate, aside from it, I do believe aliens are out there. And are they on the planet? Yes. Can they shapeshift? I don't know. Can we see them? Probably not.
No.
But they're probably there.
Humans are most likely aliens, so
Well, I mean, there's theories.
There's arguments to that. I mean, shit. We sunburn. Our backs have bad backs from the gravity. We have bad sight, bad hearing, bad eyes. We shouldn't naturally be able to exist on this planet. We should have died a long time ago.
We just
got a brain.
We have this. I think it's more than a brain. I think we just got this like energy that connects all of us to work together.
Yeah, whatever.
And also, kill things.
Yes, we are good at killing things.
Yeah.
That's the one thing the human race has mastered. We're the most proficient killer the planet has ever known. I think we outdid the dinosaurs.
What do you think about? This is a little crazy, but just that bombing we just did with that huge mother of all bombs, or.
Oh, I don't like to piss people off with talking politics, but
it's not It's a bomb.
Yeah, it's a bomb. Hey man, the way I look at it is fuck them, dude.
There's too many of us on the planet. I'll throw it out there. I don't care.
Let's just blow it up.
Right.
Screw
this
it.
This is FoxMantis Radio. Fuck people.
People equal shit, as a Slipknot said.
Right. Oh man, I used to love Slipknot as a kid.
Me and my daughter went and saw Slipknot and Manson a few months back, and goddamn, that was a
They're
badass
still
show.
rolling?
Fuck yeah, dude. Corey Taylor was jamming with a broken neck. He had a damn neck brace on. It was a black neck brace.
So
and
metal.
You couldn't even really tell because, he wears his mask and everything, but then, he started getting his close-ups. I just thought it was like a turtleneck until he starts talking to the damn crowd, saying, I got a broken neck. I can only jump on one song, so this is it, And
that's awesome. That must have hurt so bad for him.
Corey's a badass dude. I met him at Texas Frightmare a few years back, and he gave a lot of really good advice about singing and vocalizing, Cause I've always had kind of a problem with doing the more extreme vocals. I can sing fairly well.
Yeah.
But going from the clean to the really aggressive vocal that he can do probably better than anyone.
Right.
Getting advice from him was really cool.
I have trouble going from hitting a high note and then switching to falsetto, let alone going from that melodic tone into break your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was really cool. He spent a lot of time talking to me, and so that was really cool that he did that. So.
How'd you get that opportunity?
Texas Frightmare. It's a convention up in Dallas.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's actually 2 weeks from now in Dallas.
Cool. Did you have have backstage tickets or RSVP, or he just walked up to you?
Well, no, he was there. He had a booth,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a table there. I was promoting some of my stuff.
Oh,
and
what do you mean? What some of your stuff?
My movie Among the Dead.
Oh, well, let's get to that.
We'll get to that because it's a lot to talk about.
That's awesome.
Corey was there, and the vendors get there, and you get to go in before the crowd shows up. Mm-hmm. So his table was pretty close to mine, so I just walked over to him, and there he was.
That's great.
Little tiny guy.
It's cool. You're kind of already behind the scenes because you're promoting your own stuff, so you got everything set up. So just hey man, we're different, but we're kind of equal.
Yeah, that's
both promoting,
I really
He's
don't.
Human.
I don't look at exactly. I don't look at any of those people as any higher than the rest of us. They're all just dudes,
right.
Our ladies, and they've just managed to have a cool job that got them some notoriety, So, yeah. And I think a lot of times when you treat them like that, and you just talk to them like they're just a guy on the street, they respect you more,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. But let's go backtrack a little bit, right? Where I was getting to, you're in the plays as a kid,
right?
And then what made you want to be in the industry, whether it's film, entertainment, music? It's all kind of lumped together.
Well, when MTV was out, I remember I used to get a balloon when they played music.
Yes.
I had a broom, and I used to pretend like I was playing guitar, even before I owned a guitar.
Wow.
And I had a babysitter that says, "You're gonna be a rock star." I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to be. So there's never been a time in my life where I didn't want to do music.
Did you have like crazy long hair like you do now? This guy has epic,
Um,
epic black hair.
No, not till I was about 13. So
Okay.
I'm 13.
You've had it since?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. I've never cut my
Wow.
hair since then. I had a mullet when I was 13, though.
That's
So
dope,
you know,
though.
that was the Lars Ulrich mullet thing that was going on during the Injustice for All record for Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was a huge Metallica fan. Still am.
Nice.
I'm going to see Metallica in July in San Antonio.
So
Or June, actually. June is
even when they dropped off and people were hating,
Yeah, I
you
never-
still stuck by them.
I
or
never
what?
abandoned them, even though I had admitted I didn't really like some of their songs, their records.
Yeah.
Each record had, 2 or 3 songs that were good, and
Mhm.
I had those songs that I was like, okay, and I'd still go see them live because they still play their back catalog and they only
Yeah.
throw 1 or 2 new songs in, and they're just a fantastic live act. And James Hetfield was my hero to play guitar and to sing. No
Right.
one does it better than him as far as guitar and sing at that style of music.
I'm such a pussy. Like I'd be like, yeah, I feel the same thing about Incubus, bro. Like, Incubus was dope when they were funky, but like then they got like whatever his name is, Brian Boyd or whatever, or I'm butchering his name. I don't give a fuck. He like learned how to sing. And just never went back.
With
I'm
pop
like, dude, give me
songs.
that fucking funk back, dude. Give me
Well,
like the
let me
Fungus
say, I
Amogus
saw
and
them with the
Science.
Deftones with my daughter a couple of months ago. We go to a lot of shows.
That's awesome.
And,
I mean, I've been to a few
And
of their shows, but that was back when in high school.
I
That was
saw
like 10 years
Incubus
ago.
last year, and
Mhm.
they were still a good live band. But yeah, with the pop songs and stuff, I sat down most of the time. You can't follow the Deftones, so it was kind of a mistake.
Deftones are dope.
It was a kind of mistake for them to try to follow the Deftones. They were just
Wait, Deftones open for that?
Deftones played before Incubus, which was
Ugh.
insane. You can't follow.
No.
Just like when Manson played before Slipknot, only Slipknot really or Rob Zombie can go after.
Oh man, I saw Rob
Yeah.
Zombie at the F1 track
Yeah.
a few years back. I was like selling iced tea, so I got like,
Yeah,
get your iced tea. Why are you doing this? I don't know. I get to see.
it's
Rob
a free
Zombie.
show, and
Yeah.
I kind of get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, going back to your question, I always wanted to do it. So there's never really been a point in my life where I didn't want to be in an entertainment type of business. So as I got older, bands were all I did. Me and my brother played guitars, and we were in bands together. And I guess I didn't really start doing anything serious until it's probably 2007. I saw an open casting call. Actually, I'll go back. I'm not going to lie. I did audition when I lived in Marble Falls when I was 18 to be an extra in Office Space.
What?
And but I didn't look like a person. They told me straight up
You
when I
don't
went
look
there.
like a person.
Yeah, I couldn't be in an office. And then I didn't know what Courage Under Fire. I didn't know it was a military movie. I showed up, stood in line at the Sheraton Hotel downtown with the headshots, and they said, "Okay, this is a military movie. Are you willing to shave your head?" Like, no, see ya. So,
Oh no.
no, I wasn't going to shave my head to be an extra. And so,
Wow.
that was when I was younger. But then I didn't really do anything else as far as film went until it was about 2007 when I saw an open casting call for a film that was at the time. I think the final title is called Band Slam, and I'm actually in that movie for a blink of an eye. They needed like a
Nice.
bouncer type of security guy. I'm like, oh well, duh, come on,
Yeah.
let's walk in
You
the
got
park.
part.
So I towered over the kids, so it made me look like I was much bigger than all the. I even put on like really big shoes to make me like 6'5", so it was like, so I look even bigger than I was. They're like Frankenstein boots. So you're not gonna shoot my feet, right? Like, no, I was like, okay, check these boots out. I showed them the boots, like, oh yeah, that'll make you even bigger. So that was my first take, and also one of my friends told me I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, that's a good dare. And it's crazy. 2007 seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a decade.
10
ago.
years ago, man. That's fucking
A full
insane.
decade.
And then
So you've been in the industry for a decade.
yeah,
now,
yeah.
you know?
Well, being extras, yeah.
Mainly because of a dare.
Kind of, yeah. We saw
Yeah.
the casting call thing, and he said I couldn't do it. He's like, "You're not an actor, dude. No one will cast you the way you look." And I did it anyway, and they did. And then I found out that
Yeah.
having this look that I have actually helped me.
It's a good niche. I'm
You know?
telling you, those you don't know, I worked with this fella just the beginning of this month, and he blew me away. I saw him in, I was doing a casting call, just sitting in, giving my opinion, and as soon as I saw him, and I was like, oh my god, there's a character just for this guy. So yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Oh
too.
yeah, it was great. I had a lot of fun on that, man.
Yeah.
I forgot you were in the audition. I kind of black out and don't
Yeah.
look at the people.
Well, I don't say much.
And,
I'm like, hey, I'm the assistant director, Wayne
yeah.
Vashon, what's going on? And then I'm like on my laptop. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
they don't really notice me, but I'm actually taking notes and
Right.
do pay attention.
And I had worked with Brian recently, or presently before, on a 48-hour thing, so I was kind of like, he was the only one I really knew there, so I was kind of focusing on him because I didn't feel uncomfortable
Right.
in there with him because, and that's just with any audition. I always try not to look at them. You know, one thing I've learned about performing is that you can look at a person without looking at them. You can look like you're looking at them, but I'm actually looking past them.
Well, that's good.
And so they're out of focus.
Right.
And so I can focus on the wall behind you. And it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm not. And so by doing that, it helps me to stay focused on
This
what
is
I'm doing.
free audition classes right now.
I don't know if you should take it. I'm not the greatest auditioner in the world,
You
but
did get the role.
I did get it, but
You did get the role.
I've been turned down for several. But again, you never know what people are looking for. Like I did a audition for a Little Caesars commercial, and they needed bikers. They needed bikers for this thing. I'm like,
I can see
shit,
that.
I'm a fucking shoe-in for this. Put on my leather vest, I had bikered all up.
Dude, you should have just dressed like the Undertaker when he like went through that like
Yeah, the
motorcycle
biker phase.
Yeah, that would.
Which is kind of what it did. I put leather vest on. I had my bandana on. I went in there and
easy on the mic.
yeah, I did a mic bump there. I apologize. And I thought I did really well, and I didn't get the gig, and it was a $2,000 paying gig. I was like, shit, that would have been awesome, but didn't get it. So you never know what they're looking for. Right. So all you can do is go in there in an audition, do what you do, the best you can do it, and walk away and not think about it anymore because it's out of your hands at that point.
Right.
I mean, once you walk away, it's up to the people if you made a good enough impression on them. Either you did or you didn't.
Right. So after your extra work, what brought you into the darker side? When I mean darker, I mean going behind the scenes because acting is fun. It's hard work, don't get me wrong, but when you're in when you're behind the scenes, there's a whole nother level of realm, especially when you start at the very basis of the writing table or you just writing or you just can, talking with a co-writer and just bouncing off ideas. There's a lot that goes on, and then to see it come into play and actually come and be created as a film, it's a whole nother aspect, and it's, I think, another level of stress that's way beyond acting.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
So I would compare like failing an audition to writing a script that never gets read is the same deal. Especially like when you submit your script and you get rejected, it's like the same thing as like not getting the call back from.
Well, I've never submitted a script. I've never written for anyone else with the intention of anyone else ever making them.
Yeah.
I write scripts that I can make myself.
Well, that's
with the exception of the Western I wrote recently, which is going to need multi-million-dollar budget because it's just so big. But
Westerns are hard.
I wrote that with no limitations because I knew we are attempting to put this thing in festivals and see how it does and possibly sell it. I have no intention of even trying to make that because it's just too big.
Just wait a bit.
But,
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had told the person I've been writing it with,
you got to find the right people.
That we would not sell it to the first offer. It'd have to be a really good offer because it is something I'd like to hold on to.
I'll give you 25 cents and my daughter. You can marry her if you want. She's not a prize.
I've been married once before. No thanks.
I have too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you though on the behind the scenes stuff. I never went to film school or anything.
Neither did I.
I
I got this gig truly on just ambition.
I made my first film in 2000. I started November 13th, Friday the 13th, 2009. And it took us about 5 months with no crew, with only 2 to 3 people, and we shot a feature length. First cut was 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I got it down, but 220-minute film from a 70-page script, and we did all that for less than $5,000 with a 3-person crew, and that film's done really well as far as festivals go. But I never made a short before. I'd never done anything. I didn't even know how to edit.
What was the film called?
It's called John, Jon.
Oh.
And it's basically about a a guy who's socially awkward. He has problems dealing with people, and he has an imaginary friend who's a sociopath.
Ooh. What?
And he's a sociopathic.
Two different characters?
Yeah. His sociopathic imaginary friend gets him to do vile things.
Ooh.
But you find out his friend was with him since he was a child. The very beginning of the movie, he's a child, and he's killing animals and doing all kinds of fucked up things. And so he goes to hypnotherapy, and he's hypnotized to forget about him. So flash forward, he's 30. He's having issues, with he has a woman he has a crush on he can't talk to. He works in an office. He hates his job.
Oh, wow.
He gets into a situation where he does something he regrets doing, and is all of a sudden his imaginary friend's back in his life saying, you better cover this shit up. You don't want no one to find out. And the next thing you know, he's on a dark path to doing all kinds of vile, fucked up things. And the sociopathic friend, which is played by myself, is constantly on his back, telling him and antagonizing him and enticing him to do these things. And that was my very first film, which I wrote, directed,
2009?
acted, edited.
You edited it too,
Yeah,
huh?
edited. I edit everything I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2009. The only reason it didn't get distribution is because I made a few amateur mistakes and didn't cross the I's and dot the T's, and some of the paperwork wasn't done, and I can't find a lot of the people that were involved, so I can't get release forms.
Oh, man.
But
Lawyer up. That's
what I
you
can
should
do is I can sell them on my own. So that's what I do at these festivals or these conventions like Texas Frightmare, and I get booths. I sell the DVDs.
Oh,
So
cool.
I can sell them. I just can't get a company to distribute them.
Oh.
Since
So
I want to remake
Are you going
this.
to Frightmare?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have a booth this year. I'm
No,
going as a
no, good.
fan.
Okay.
But I am going to be going. I always go. I've gone
Do you have
every
like a
year.
website people can go and maybe...
Not at the moment,
Buy
man.
the film?
We have only our Among the Dead page, but
Yeah.
I just have my Facebook page. And
Yeah, just
And,
just look up William Instone.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you're interested, just send him a private message if you wanna check it out. Because I'm interested. I'd like to.
yeah,
see it.
and
That
I,
sounds really
it was
cool.
crazy. I got the guy that was Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. His name was Bill Johnson. He's a local
Nice.
Austin actor.
Awesome.
I met him at a convention, and I got Lloyd Kaufman. That was in. He was the owner and runner of Trauma Entertainment. And, they did Toxic Avenger and did that. I actually got to play
Dude,
Toxic.
that
I got to play
movie's
the.
creeped me out when I was a kid.
Yeah,
man.
the Toxic Avengers playing on the TV. In one
Mhm.
of the scenes, I got his permission to use it, and he played my character John's dad. He's really
Man.
funny. So that's kind of the comic relief thing in there. And
Nice. So you went all out on this on a small budget.
a small budget of under $5,000. The only cool thing about that is I've almost made my money back just on DVD sales.
So what did you spend most of the money on? Was it a post?
No, not
production,
really,
or
because
was it
I
just paying
did
for
it
the
pretty
act-
much everything in post. It's just paying for food, and my actor was from Louisiana. Don't tell me why I didn't get a local guy, but he was just when I saw
You
him.
had to fly him in and out.
No, he drove, but when
Dang.
when I saw him, he was the guy. So I paid him, and I put him in a hotel room, and I fed him, and then some makeup effects that we had to do, and
What'd you think about Jason Zentner? I just had him on my podcast.
he's good. I'm
He's
actually
great.
I'm going to work with him. I do makeup a little bit myself. By necessity, I had to learn how to make zombies because we
Oh, very
ran
cool.
out of money on our short film Among the Dead to pay our makeup artists. So I kind of had to learn how to do it to get the thing finished.
Nice.
So when I was on Death and Compromise, I was talking to him. Was wearing a zombie thing. I was asking about zombies, and we started showing each other our work. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I want to work with you." I'm like, "Cool." So it's
Yeah.
always good to have another talented artist in there. I thought
the special effects is hard to find.
yeah,
so,
I mean, he did really good with
Yeah.
those cuts on Jennifer's back. Yeah,
he
that
did
was
it like 6 times
that was
at least.
that was sick.
Yeah, it was
you
great.
know? So
But anyways, back to this little short film you're
Yeah.
promoting. Tell
Yeah.
me about it.
well, Among the Dead it's a proof of concept. Really, it's a feature film.
Mhm.
I wrote the script 3 years ago this month, and the first version of it, I should say. I just recently wrote 2 different alternatives to it, so I have 3 different versions of this story. And so, if an investor don't like one, well, he's got a second one that's pretty much different, and he's got a third one that's different than that one.
Really?
It's the same characters, kind of same gist, but slightly different in each one. Different things happen. One's more of an action, one's more of like The Walking Dead, one's more like kind of like a World War Z action
Oh.
type. So it's just there's different feels.
Do you have a preference on which you?
I really like this new one because the thing is I keep getting, and I even heard it on the set when we worked on, when people were talking to me, I always hear zombies are overplayed, zombies are done, The Walking Dead's, already done everything you can do with it. You offer nothing new. What's new to it? So
Vampire zombies.
well, we're going more apocalyptic.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
We're
that's a
basically
horrible
not like Resident Evil apocalyptic. We're going like Mad Max
idea. Okay.
apocalyptic, where we're going to armor up vehicles and just it's going to be apocalyptic and really cool, just from the aesthetics of the sets and some of the things that we do in the feature film. They really haven't been done in anything I've seen. I also explain what the zombie is and how you can get rid of them without, there's
Crazy
an end game.
exposition.
There's an end game that makes sense, and it's use science to explain it.
Nice.
So we're changing the name, but I can't say the name
No, don't
in
spoil
public, just
everything.
because
Yeah.
I'm talking about the name of the film, the feature film, when we get an investor, because we
Invest
had
in this movie.
Among the Dead was actually, the title was I don't know if it was stolen from us per se, but it's kind of awkward that there's another film. It's a zombie film called Among the Dead in Florida, and the main character's name was Austin.
That's crazy.
Kind of like a stab at, like, okay, well, we're in Austin. We're doing it Among the Dead. What's going on here? So,
You get in touch with these people?
oh yeah, we had a cease and desist letter sent to us for copyright infringement, and we gave them a big fuck you back because can't copyright a name. I didn't use a logo, so
Yeah.
we basically had to send them a big fu back, and after a few exchanges, like, oh, okay, it's cool. We even told them, look, we're not even going to be using this name for the feature film, so
Right.
just enjoy the fact that some of the people that we've been promoting think that you're us, because we go to this site sometimes and we'll see a lot of the people from Texas that have liked his page because they think it's us.
That's crazy.
And that's the whole thing. It's the confusion of having
Yeah.
a name. They're a zombie film. We're a zombie film.
Did you tell them what the name of your feature is going to be so they don't try
Oh
to
hell
copy
no!
that?
Because they might try to copy. They might try to steal it.
Well, you can patent
So
that
we're
shit
patenting.
if
Yes,
as long
it's
as-
all.
yeah,
We're-
copyright that
you
shit.
can't. But see, then again, you can't copyright a name.
Oh, so
You
what
can
are
only
you gonna
copyright a logo.
do? Oh.
So anyone could use the damn name. I could keep the name Among the Dead, make a feature film. There's not a damn thing anyone could do about it.
Yeah.
But it's just, there's also the whole, we're trying to get rid of anything that has the word dead in it, because we were talking with Danny Trejo's manager, and we had sent them a script because we were going to actually talking about, hey, I have to get Danny Trejo in there, and we had talked to his manager, and she was, I get like 20 scripts a day, and half of them have the word dead in it. So I'm like, she goes, you should probably think about changing the name. I'm like, actually, we are. So
Right.
that was cool, but
Among the Dead should be Among the Living.
I got the name from the Among the Living record from Anthrax.
Right.
I dug Anthrax a lot, and so I was just like, they have a record called Among the Living. I think I'm gonna call it Among the Dead,
Right.
And I thought it was cool, And I did a search online, couldn't find anything, and then all of a sudden this dude pops up on Facebook. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And so
Florida sucks.
what's funny though is we've been in the same film festivals, the same festivals. Both Among the Deads have been on there at the same time. I was
Wow.
like, good. Hopefully they screen back to back so people can see the difference quality wise. Because
Right.
ours is very much. We've done really well. We've done really well so far in our film festivals. We've been in roughly, probably I can't even know how many we've been in. At least 10 to 12 festivals we've been official selections in.
Mhm.
We've had at least 20 to 30 nominations. That's not an exaggeration, and we've gotten at least 11 to 12 wins just
Wow.
since October. We
Of the-
debuted
of
in
last year?
October of 2016,
Oh, wow.
and we debuted in
So
in
it's
San
only
Antonio.
been like 6 months.
Yeah, around 6 months, and we still got a lot of festivals we've submitted to, including Fantastic Fest, which that's where I got my fingers crossed that I can get into
Oh,
Fantastic
you
Fest.
will, man. You will.
Our film looks like it cost $50,000 to make. It didn't. We have a military Humvee. My filmmaker partner Matt was retired military, so all of our Army people, the soldiers, are all legit, from their wardrobe to the way they talk, to the way they walk. Everything's all accurate military. We were able to get deuce and a half
fantastic.
military vehicles. We built a Army camp with big stand-up tents and stuff.
Where
And
was it? Where did you shoot it at?
we shot the tent scene was actually done in Georgetown.
Okay.
We shot all over. We shot in Dripping Springs. We
If you had
shot
to
in
guess how many
Pflugerville.
you don't have to tell all the locations, but
I don't mind.
Okay,
Different locations, 7 maybe.
that's not bad.
You know,
Over the course of what? Like how long?
it took us 2 years to make this because honestly, dude, we thought we could make the whole film for around 30 grand, and we found out real fast that that wasn't going to happen because the zombies were too damn expensive to make because our zombies look really good, and that's one of the things that we've gotten. We got a really good review from 13horror.com, and they were talking about how well the zombies looked, you know, that they were on par with The Walking Dead, and that means a lot. You know, we the Walker Stalker convention in Dallas, that's a Walking Dead convention, we screened there.
Is there any place that people can actually check out the short? Or?
Not yet because we're doing festivals. So if we get into Fantastic Fest, yes.
When is the next local fest?
Locals have not been too
Or when's the next
too
festival?
good for
That's
us.
gonna be?
The next one's in Florida,
Yeah,
in
from
Orlando,
Florida.
the End of Days Film Festival,
Nice.
which is kind of funny because that's where the other Among the Dead is. I kind of wonder if they're in there too.
I wish we could like Facebook message this guy and just fight.
Nah,
Just-
we're good now. I
Yeah.
mean, we made our peace. We haven't had any problems, and since we're going to change the name, I don't really care. It's not competition with what we're doing. I mean, I don't trying to toot our own horn, but our stuff looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. You know, I mean,
Are you super competitive with them, or are you just kind of like
not really?
it's just that whole name thing?
No,
you
it's just a name
squashed
thing.
it?
I don't really care. I mean, you know, it's like I said, I don't know if they still learn or not. I mean, it's a pretty common name. It's kind of generic. So, I mean, they maybe not have known we even existed. I don't
That's
know.
true.
I can't say one way or the
I hope
other.
no one has FoxMantis Radio. I'd be really upset.
You know, the thing with names, like I said, you can't copyright them. All you can do is copyright your logo. So, yeah, with we just got into Horror Avenue. We just got that yesterday, I believe. We accepted an official selection into that one, and we screened in India recently.
No way.
Yeah, we were-
Bollywood. Oh my
Yeah.
god, my friend.
I don't know. I can't remember the name of Matt submitted to that one, so I don't remember exactly.
These Americans coming from Texas, they want us to see this horror film with the zombies.
You'd be crazy to know how many fans we have in Turkey.
Really?
It blew my mind, dude.
That's crazy.
Like we
You're like the David Hasselhoff
Like,
of Germany, but in
how
Turkey.
How the fuck do we have so many followers from Turkey and Ireland? I'm like, Jesus, this is awesome. We're just these guys in Texas, you know.
Yeah. That's
And
cool, man.
our Facebook followers on the Among the Dead page are from all over the world, you know.
That's awesome.
So it's been really fun. I mean, I'm really hoping that we can get an investor now. We're working on our business plan. This proof of concept, you know, the 30-minute short has kind of proven itself.
30 minutes long?
30 minutes, yeah. And it's just kind of to give you a taste of what we're doing. Because, I mean, the original script was 137 pages. And I just had to cut it down. And the last one I just finished last night's 89 now. So I'm like, all right. Woo.
Wow. Holy fuck.
I got it down to 89.
All the best parts, baby.
It's tight now. It's action. It's more action now. It's just it's a constant the tension that you get from the beginning all the way through. There's never any time where you don't feel threatened or there's not some type of tense moment, you know. And it might not work, but then again, it might, because you know, as far as the plots, you know, go and
Are you directing
timing.
it?
Yeah, I mean, and Matt are both going to be directing, just because I'm acting in it. So
Right. Who's this guy, Matt?
Matt Riffley, he's my filmmaking partner. So,
Yeah. I've worked with
yeah.
him.
So we've been together working on projects about 3 years, a little over 3 years. He came on and helped me get my first set of DVDs for John. So I made him an associate producer for John during post. So he wasn't there when I made the film, but he came on towards the end. And so since then, you know, we started doing 48-hour film projects together and just started working. We work well together.
How many 48-hour film projects have you done?
We did, I think me and him did 3, I believe.
And your favorite was?
The last one was called Daddy Daughter Day. It was a dark comedy where me and my daughter are in there. And
Oh, you got a daughter?
yeah, I have a daughter. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
nice.
18 now, but she wasn't at the time. She was like 16, I think, at the time. The thing is that she's like 4'11" and weighs like 80 pounds. You know, I'm the
Wow.
total opposite of me. Like, how the hell did you get so little? But So she looks 12. So we were able to make her look like even younger than what she is. And basically, the hitman takes his daughter on hits with him, and it's really funny. And the thing about the 48, it's like, I don't know, man. It seemed like it's who you know. I mean, I had that film has gotten so much attention, and I mean, we made one about vampires the year before that, and people remembered that one. I've never won anything with those. It seems like the movies that suck the most were the ones that won the most. You know, got the most notoriety.
Yeah, I get it. I've seen some of those.
And they'll tell you, oh, well, just completing your film in 48 hours, that is a win in itself. No, it's not. Don't have an award ceremony.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Well, that's the way I look at it too. I'm not. I don't like participation trophies and shit like that. So, yeah, it's whatever. But I did have fun. I learned a lot from those. I don't have any regrets doing them. I'll never do them again.
Really, you're done with them?
No, I'm done with 48.
They're washed up. They're the worst.
Well, I mean, that's where I met Brian Elder and he was part of his group he was with. They did the 48-hour horror challenge, and I came on board and I directed the horror film. What
kind of director are you? I can't really see you as a director. No offense.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of
I am a story type of person, and I cast the actors that are going to do the jobs. And if I cast the right person, I don't have to tell them anything. This is where you start. This is where you go. This is what's going on here. Do it.
Man, if we can just jump ahead of time to DNC real quick,
sure.
Doesn't compromise. So when you were on set and you were working with this really young, talented actress, what is it,
Jennifer Kendall.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
She's a method actor at the age of like 19 or 20, and there was a really brutal scene because you are my favorite villain-esque badass mercenary southern, western, like, don't fuck with this guy because he doesn't give a shit.
Thank you.
And you and her had such great chemistry as like you as overbearingly powerful, and she so helpless but yet so resilient. And there was this one scene where I thought you fucking just like annihilated her and like broke her neck or something, but she's like, "No, do it again. We gotta do it again." And I mean, that was beautiful.
That's
how
many takes we did, man. That was she, and every time she just took it,
Yeah. I mean, you flung her on a mat so many times. And, she missed the mat a couple times.
She missed that one. I bruised her knee pretty bad.
I scraped it pretty bad.
I felt bad about that.
Don't worry, it wasn't your fault. She got right back up. It's like, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
Let's just do it.
Did it,
Like, you are bleeding.
That's what I kept saying. You are a fucking trooper.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Oh, you both were very good. And you had so much range. You did it in so many different ways that I was like, yep, I know I need to talk to these guys again because I like to watch that. That's good. I mean, and that's where I was like, oh, man, I really like your character, really like what you can do, and I can't wait to see more of your work.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's my compliment.
I tried to
you.
add as much as I could to the character. I mean, it was the secondary character, but I wanted to make characters like that stand out. I'm not like a leading man type of guy, so and if I could be like Boba Fett, the character doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but he owns everything he's in.
Does he have like 2 lines?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
You have more lines than
I have more lines.
More
lines than Boba Fett. But I'm just, I liked that I was able to deliver well and get positive feedback from the crew and everybody that I did my job well, and that makes it all worthwhile,
So top 3, favorite horror films.
The top of my head.
On the top of your head, putting you on the spot. I like to hear it.
Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously.
Nice.
That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. The very first one?
Yeah, this is the top of the list because that shit scared the hell out of me. I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
I chewed a dinosaur tail off when I was like 4 or 5. I can't believe my mom let me watch it. It was so scary.
I saw the original Nightmare on Elm Street in the theater.
Oh, I never saw it in the theater.
With a babysitter when I was very young, and it scared the shit out of me. So I have to say that one for sure. Let's see. Oh man, it's hard. I dig Hellraiser a lot because of the aesthetics of it, the art, and just Pinhead's just fucking sick, dude.
He's scary. Just like, I mean, I don't remember watching a full movie of that. I mean, Chucky scared the shit out of me because I never finished the film, like Child's Play, and he got his head like blown up with a hose. I wish I saw that before I left. I had nightmares about that for months until I finished it. But Hellraiser made me not even want to see the movie. I was like, dude, that guy would scare the fuck out of me.
He's sick, man, and I loved Pinhead, and even all the sequels. I mean, except for the when they got rid of Doug Bradley as Pinhead, but the sequels were cool too. They were pretty well done. You know, the dark stories. I really dig that. And I'd say 3. I gotta go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
The second one.
The second one, because it's a dark comedy. It's got it's got Chop Top in it. And
I don't think I saw it.
It was made in 1987.
Okay.
And that's the movie.
I was 1 year old.
That's the movie that Bill Johnson was in, which was from my film, John, which was kind of cool because that was a film I really dug a lot, and to be able to work with him. And Bill Moseley was in it, and Bill Moseley's he's in the Rob Zombie films, the House of a Thousand Corpses, and the Devil's Rejects, and his character Chop Top is just so awesome in there. And just because I remember it as a kid, I was very young when it came out. But I saw it in the theater. I saw a lot of horror films in the theaters.
You know what movie I saw in the theater when I was a kid that I don't so embarrassing, but I saw Batman and Robin in the theaters when I think I was like an early teens, but
I'm not gonna lie, I went and saw it.
You saw it too?
Saw it.
Oh my god,
it was horrible.
It was so bad.
Yeah,
but Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dr. Freeze
is,
yeah. His puns.
Yeah,
so nice.
He's Mr. Bane. Yeah. Don't get me started doing. I was doing Arnold voices on the set.
Oh, do it.
I'm not very good at it, but it's just funny.
Yeah, I don't need your mind.
Yeah. I saw all 4 of the Batmans actually in the theater. I saw the original Tim Burton one with Michael Keaton.
Damn, that was great. What do you think? Who do you think's the best Joker out of all?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I was watching a video today where he got the voice and the mannerisms from Tom Waits. There's a video online where Tom Waits is doing this interview in London, and he sounds exactly like Ledger did. And his mannerisms, the way he was sitting, is like, I just caught a plane from over here. So he's talking all slow like that and raspy, and it was smoking a cigarette the whole time, and I was like, wow, that's where Heath Ledger got the voice, because it sounds exactly like him. And that was I just thought he was creepy. And I remember sitting in the theater watching that movie, knowing that Heath Ledger had died, and he has just never got to see the best performance he'd ever done, that probably anyone will ever do as far as the Joker goes. In my opinion, it was just amazing, and it actually kind of was depressing watching it. It's like, fuck, that guy was really good.
Guy locked himself in his hotel room for like 6 months, just learning
to be creepy, and it's just like, wow, he took it to a new level. And I guess if you have to go and leave something behind, that's a hell of a piece to leave behind, man.
It's like Kurt Cobain and Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever be topped. No.
What do you think about Bruce Lee's kid with the crow?
That fucked me up, man, because I've been such a big Bruce Lee fan since I was a little kid, and I started following Brandon Lee when his movie Showdown in Little Tokyo came out with Dolph Lundgren, and again, I've always been into martial arts, so I thought, oh man, this guy, he's the shit, he's rapid fire. I'm like, yeah, that was badass, and then I see on the news he died. Like, oh my god, dude! And I had the rapid fire poster in my room. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Brandon Lee died. And so just the whole thing behind it, especially since in the movie The Chinese Connection, he's he jumps up and he's at the very end of that movie. They use that clip in the Game of Death movie from Bruce Lee, where his character gets shot on set, which is so weird because they were
foreshadowing.
It's like that happened.
Like actual life foreshadowing. It's pretty remarkable.
The guy who actually fired the shot that killed Brandon Lee died last year.
Did he?
Yeah,
no one talks about that.
Guy played Fun Boy in The Crow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Was it that's last film ever or what? The guy that shot Brandon Lee?
No, he was in 7.
Really?
He was in the movie 7, and he was in several other films.
I wonder how he must.
He was a
feel.
bar owner. You know, remember in Seven when have you seen the film Seven?
No.
You need to watch that movie.
Should I?
It's
Should I?
very bad.
When did it come out?
In the '90s. I saw it in the theater when it came
Oh, yeah.
out. Brad Pitt was in his prime at that point, and it's damn good, dude. Really good. Kevin Spacey is just amazing in it.
I love Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah, the dude's phenomenal.
The guy has multiple range. He can be a hero. He's really good at being a villain.
Oh, have you heard his impersonations?
Oh my God! Was it Jerry Lewis?
He does a bunch of them. He does Al Pacino. He does like all these guys.
He's so good.
And he's damn good at impersonations.
Yeah. Who was it? John. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. The first talk show host, Jimmy, not Carter. What's his name?
Johnny Carson.
Yes.
He wasn't the first, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
most famous.
Yeah.
Before Jay Leno, right?
He can do a really good impression of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Spacey's talented.
Yeah, damn good.
He makes me feel like shit. I'm not as talented as him. I can't even do Yoda.
There's so many really good talents out there that you can get inspiration from. You know,
Yeah.
I try to look into all these people. I watch a lot of the Inside the Actor Studio. Remember that show that I think I watch YouTube pretty much every night before I go to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just flipping through my phone, watching YouTube videos, and so I'll watch a lot of things about acting and filmmaking, and again, directing, how to be a better director, how to be a better editor, all that shit. So
yeah.
But Inside the Actor Studio, it really does give you a lot of information. Like there's really, I don't remember who he was talking to, but Bradley Cooper was actually one of the people sitting in the crowd for one of those shows, and he got up and he asked an actor a question before anybody knew who Bradley Cooper was.
Bradley Cooper's talented too.
And he's a damn good actor, man.
He's worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
right now.
he's done really good for himself, on the stuff he's done,
He does a great Rocket Raccoon. You can't even recognize him.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that's who he is.
Yeah, he voices that character. Yeah.
And Rocket steals the show,
So, do you think is Van Diesel just speeding up his voice for the new one? Because Groot's small.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday when I was like half asleep.
How would they do that? Yeah, he has a very deep voice.
It's like Alvin and the Chipmunks. They speed up his voice, I think.
I think since all he says is Groot, I mean,
I am Groot. I am Groot. So they're like, yeah.
I'm glad that Yondu is going to be a good guy, because Michael Rooker is fucking awesome, dude. Michael Rooker's a damn good actor, and he's really cool. I've met him several times, and he's such a cool dude, and I'm glad he's finally getting those big roles. He's always been a side character. He was in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise, and Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my God!
Mallrats, and I mean, he was in Tombstone. All these big movies, but he was always a side character, and he's really good. And to give him a part, Yondu is one of the best characters in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Are they introducing Mantis or something like that?
I'm not sure what they're doing. I haven't even watched the new trailer yet.
You haven't watched?
No, I don't want to see it.
Well, it sucks because I was watching with all this North Korea bullshit, like this end of the world shit.
Yeah.
I was watching Last Man on Earth. The last few.
The show?
Yeah, the last.
I've
seen every.
It's pretty funny.
It's getting darker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They had Christian Wiig or what's her name? God damn, I'm so bad with names right now. The girl from SNL.
I haven't watched
she had her
SNL
own
in a long time, man.
Really? Yeah. Man, I gotta fact check it real quick. But there was an episode with just her, and it was explaining how she was like this really rich, fancy, in the Hollywood Boulevard type deal, and she had this really, fantastic, like, arrogant but very humble husband, and she's like in this competition with this really bitchy girl, and like so white class, white collar, like hatred towards each other. And then I think it's Kristen Wiig, and so it just showed like everyone slowly dying, and this girl that she's always been in competition with had a bunker built because people were dying and walking around with masks and stuff, and so she like goes to her house, and her husband are dead. She finds the key to the bunker, and so she's like, the whole episode is her like surviving the bunker with her dog, and eventually she let the dog out, and the dog just ran off, and she had like this drone built because it's like a highly sophisticated bunker. They're million or billionaires, and she finds like the cast of like Will Forte and his crew, and then there's like a prior season where you see this drone, and the girl from Mad Men, the wife of John Hamm, or like shoots it with a shotgun, and so you see like her reaction from like 2 seasons ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like
that's cool.
Crazy.
Tie it all
like,
together.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get to see the demise of the world through the eyes of this really rich, fancy fucking class, and I was like, that was a really good episode, and I can't wait what happened. But then you never see her again until they're not done with this 3rd season, but I like it better than the first. What I want the whole show to do is kill off everybody but Will Forte again.
Well, it has to be. He's the last man on Earth.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it has to go, right?
He could get ready to go kill himself again.
Yeah. And that's like the end of the series where he just like tries to run the truck into the rock, and then it cuts before he hits the rock, and that's the end of it.
I only saw the first season. I really liked it, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. So.
I like Will Forte.
And
you ever see MacGruber, the movie?
That's that one where they make fun of MacGyver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw it, but I remember the trailer.
You gotta see that movie.
Yeah.
It still holds up today.
Okay.
Yeah, it will make you.
I remember when it came out, and it looked like, oh, that's gonna be so stupid. But like, stupid funny's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the Naked Gun movies,
Oh, Leslie Nielsen. Oh my God. Banana, banana, yeah. That was just yeah. Where he's like driving the car, like the police car through all this, like the old school police car where they had that one light on the top.
Yep. Is it bad that like I like watching that to see OJ get hurt? Like OJ just keeps getting fucked up.
I just like OJ is like that B character, but the whole like movie revolves around him. Yeah. That's why he didn't get to like go to prison for murder. But like, it's like that Dave Chappelle skit where they're. Do you think Michael Jackson's, did all that stuff with kids? He's like, no, man, he made Thriller. Like, do you think OJ really killed his wife? He's like, no, man, Naked Gun, bro, Naked Gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got off tangent pretty quickly, huh? What are you doing next? What's your next move there, guy? So you just did Death and Compromise.
Yeah.
You're still promoting
your
zombie film.
Hopefully that'll get picked up, and that I'll have a future with that. So that would be cool. Then I got Among the Dead, which we're doing the promoting and trying to find investors for that. I need a pretty big budget on it, so it's going to be difficult. But so I'm not going to just sit on my hands while we're promoting that and pitching it. We're already writing a new script for a feature film that we can make on a modest budget, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like, I guess, like a creep show. It's like remember the movie Creep Show and had all the different like short films?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The Crypt Keeper.
that's Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, no.
Creep Show is like they're feature films, but each one's like a story from a comic book.
Yes, I remember.
Well, ours is not quite like that, but it's kind of like 4 different stories that intertwine with the main story, and it all revolves around an insane asylum. And so, and they're very creepy stories. It really touches on schizophrenia, and just a lot of very strange situations that would put people in a mental institution while they're there.
Do you know a lot about that?
Well, the guy I'm writing it with did his. He's a male nurse, and he did his internship at a state hospital. So I do have that. And, he's
Well, that's good, yeah.
and I just know a lot of crazy women from working in a strip club for 16 years. So 16 years, man. I was only supposed to work there for the summer, and I just never left. So, so I'm just dealing with some of the crazy stories I've heard from there, and then just my imagination of some things that I think are really creepy, and just dealing with schizophrenia, and they really think the shit's happening to them. But the way I'm making it is it really happening to them or not? Are they really schizophrenic, or is that really happening? and we don't really get to know. You have to guess kind of for yourself, and so it's pretty cool. We're almost done with that, and I've written this Western called 36 Notches, which is based off a true story of a true person.
Is this Texas bound?
No, this is Tennessee. This happened during the Civil War, and it's basically the Punisher in the Civil War era.
Wow.
And we've made it really bloody. It's loosely based off of a real guy that really did. Went on a revenge quest and started killing Union soldiers. He's been accredited for killing 130 some odd people during the Civil War, but only 36 were confirmed. But the Union claims he was responsible for over 100. And it's a very, very cool story, and it's really, really well written. I mean, we spent a long time working on it, and we intertwine characters like Ulysses S. Grant is in there, and Nathan Bedford Forrest is in there. So if you don't know who they are, it's just a history thing. Nathan Bedford Forrest is known for being the guy who created the Ku Klux Klan, but in his defense, he left before it became what it became when he first created. But I'm not glorifying the guy or anything. But and then everybody knows who Grant is. So the reason I brought up Nathan Forrest is that he was one of the most proficient killers in the Civil War. He had over 30 kills himself, and was taken down off of 20 horses.
That's hard to do.
And he was a lieutenant colonel that led his soldiers. He was the front of the line. The only other guy that really was known for doing that was Custer. Of course, it didn't work out too well for him. But he would lead them in.
Georgia. Oh, Georgia.
And they were in Tennessee. So that's why we use these characters, because Grant was in Tennessee. I haven't.
No. Got to get some Tennessee.
I'd really like to go to Memphis because I am an Elvis fan. So
really,
yeah, believe it or not, I collect Elvis stuff sometimes.
Are you ain't nothing but a hound dog? You crying all the time?
Nah, I'm more all shook up.
You ain't never chased a rabbit?
I'm just all shook up, man.
You're still a friend of mine.
Yeah. And I've had the jailhouse rock a few times.
Yeah.
Hey, Elvis was the first rebel, man.
He was.
Elvis is what we have to really thank rock and roll for. Even though Little Richard was around before, and Little Richard doesn't get he don't get the credit that Elvis does and Jerry Lee Lewis, but without Elvis though we wouldn't have the Beatles, and without the Beatles there's no heavy metal or rock and roll. So it all comes.
You think the Beatles were catalysts for heavy metal?
The Beatles were a catalyst for all rock and roll, pretty much, because before the Beatles, you had guys that were singing, using studio musicians, performing other people's songs, pretty much. The Beatles wrote their own songs. They were a band, It wasn't just a guy. Like Elvis Presley was Elvis Presley. Right. Jerry Lee Lewis was Jerry Lee Lewis. Buddy Holly is Buddy Holly. The Beatles were a fucking band, And they wrote their songs together, and they performed their own original music, so I really think without the Beatles, you wouldn't have what we have.
That's a good point.
I
never thought about it like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they really revolutionized the way music was done, because again, it goes in phases. Without the Beatles, you have the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones, you don't have Led Zeppelin. So it all works that way, in my humble opinion. So, but Elvis to me was just the guy could wear a fucking jumpsuit. Running around out there doing Kempo karate on stage and make girls faint, and it was just it was cool. He was just like bigger than life, and I just thought that was always something I thought was cool.
Do you think he's still alive?
No, Elvis died, man.
All right, just making sure.
He is dead.
The world is flat. Elvis is still alive.
There's a lot of crazy fucking theories out there, man. But I do think that. For one, if Elvis was alive when little Lisa Marie married Michael Jackson, he would have came out.
Oh yeah.
What the hell's going on here, man? Yeah. So.
What if he was the one that's like, yo, ho, Michael, yeah, turn yourself wide. Take out your nose, and he's like giving him all this advice. He was his doctor.
Well, have you seen the movie Bubba Hotep with
No,
Bruce Campbell?
I haven't.
He
seen that.
plays Elvis, and basically the story behind it's really funny because
Yeah.
he's still alive, but he said Elvis wanted to take a break, so he got a stunt double to go out and to do his stuff for him while he was just chilling out, and they switched identities for a while. The guy was an Elvis impersonator, but then that Elvis impersonator died, and all the evidence that he had that he was really Elvis blew up in an accident in his trailer, so nobody believed him.
I remember. Yeah.
So now he's in an old folks home,
Yes.
and then there's an old black guy in a wheelchair that says he's JFK. They had to transform him so they wouldn't assassinate him, and they're fighting this mummy. I mean, it's such a great movie, man.
Oh,
it is.
I do remember that.
It is so funny, man. And Bruce Campbell is hilarious.
You're a blast from the past, man.
Yeah, I bring up a lot of crazy shit. You
Yeah.
know, it's just, it's what I am.
So who was your biggest like acting influence, aside from The Undertaker, aside from Elvis, aside from Metallica,
Yeah.
all those entertainers? Like, who was like your major?
Ah, damn, for acting, man. Acting's hard to pick someone that I really. Jack Nicholson, man.
Yeah.
You know, especially my character Blackie has a lot of Nicholson in it. You know,
Nicholson was great.
he's the things he does with his eyebrows.
What was dude the
He's-
superstitious
he's
one
just-
where he does the eyebrow sunglass thing?
Yeah.
I still love doing that.
I mean, yeah, it's probably Jack and more common. I really liked Val Kilmer in the '80s and '90s, man.
Yeah.
Val was. But turned into Jim Morrison, so you know, his being Doc Holliday and Tombstone. I mean, it's like fuck, this guy is good. And the movie The Saint, which is very underrated movie, he was damn good in it. He plays all these different characters in there. You know, he's a master of disguise. So, you know,
Was it cheesy? I never saw that one. Was it like cheesy?
no, The Saint's good.
Yeah.
No, it's not cheesy.
Because everyone tries to do the different like personas. You know, you get like shitty like Eddie Murphy. I mean, I love Eddie Murphy. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But then he started, you know.
Well, no, this character, he's a spy, and so he has to wear disguises in the Saint to be to get away with what he does. I think it was
Right.
based off of a TV series. It was a British TV series or something. Don't quote me on that, but it was
No
good.
one's quoting you on anything.
And then of course Top Gun, he's Iceman. Come on, I liked Iceman better than fucking Maverick. Well, I liked Goose better than Maverick. Come on, you know.
Val Kilmer is actually in MacGruber, man. He's
Oh
the
yeah?
villain, yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna meet Val.
No way.
At the Alamo City Comic Con, dude. I'm gonna stand.
What is that?
That's the end of May. I'm
End
gonna
of
stand in
May.
line all goddamn day if I have to, because I talked to Val on Facebook. He actually interacts with his fans. It's fucking cool as shit.
What?
Yeah,
It's not some like secretary doing it.
that's really him. Yeah,
Wow.
he really talks. He gets on there and he'll talk to you. You know, so I guess because his career is not, he's not who he was, you know, in the '90s. So I guess, you know, it's whatever. But
That's awesome.
I like going to cons because, you know, you get to meet a lot of your childhood heroes, people you've seen in movies growing up. Like, you know, when I met Robert Englund, that was just fucking awesome because, again, Nightmare on Elm Street's like my favorite movie, horror movie. I'm actually right now on Netflix. It's paused. When I was leaving, I'm watching Never Sleep Again.
I never saw it.
It is a documentary on all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. But it shows how they wrote them, how they made them. You know, a lot of the shit that happened, you know, on set. They're interviewing all the actors and people that were there. Obviously, Johnny Depp's not there, and Patricia Arquette didn't show up.
Right.
But, you know, they talk about, Johnny Depp never having acted before, and he was a musician, and he only got the gig because Wes Craven's daughter thought he was cute. Because the character of Glenn was supposed to be a jock. She even calls him a jock in the movie still, and he's a skinny little pale guy that was a guitar player.
Still is.
He's a guitar player in a band, you know, and he's just like, and they said he was nervous as shit, but he ended up becoming the biggest actor in the world, you know, so,
True that.
you know. So meeting Robert Englund was really cool. I mean, I was very happy to see how nice he was and how he talks to all of his fans. He treated his fans well. That's a really cool thing. You know, sometimes those cons, you never know if somebody's having a good day or not and how they're going to treat their fans. And one of the things I've always thought of is, like I said earlier, you're just a guy, you know. you're no better than anybody else. Without your fans, you're nothing. You're no one.
That's true.
So you always have to remember where you came from and who you really are, not who you think you are. So,
Who do you think you are?
I think I am. I'm made up of matter and some type of cells, and
Oh,
I'm just
scientific.
I'm just
on it,
some
Sam.
dude, you know,
Yeah.
just some dude that's still existing for some reason.
Yeah, man, I think you're fascinating. Just hearing you and meeting, you going to all these Comic Cons and what you've been through, and what's your favorite aspect of film? Is it writing it? Is it directing it? Is it getting all the assembling everyone, or is it acting? Or is it something else I missed?
And it's really hard to say because I love so much of it. Writing is therapeutic, but it's the most difficult.
Is it?
Because you got to come up with the story on it. I mean, I've been writing and writing. I spent 3 years writing Among the Dead, man. And I'm still rewriting it, still working on it after 3 years.
Mhm.
I think I just now got it to where I'm ready, you know.
You should call it The Mummy 5, because they're making a new Mummy. You hear
I
about
saw
that
that with Tom Cruise.
It's
Hey,
fucking silly.
it's going to be produced by Scientology. But that's a
You
whole
know
other
they're not
topic.
allowed to be on set with anybody else but Scientologists.
A whole other topic.
So crazy.
We can get into that in a minute. I was going to
Okay.
answer your question.
If you know about it,
I
yeah.
do actually know a little bit
Okay,
about
okay.
this. We'll
All
talk
right.
about that
All right.
because shit's crazy.
Yes.
But I wanted to say, yeah, I like working with people.
Me too.
So being on set is probably the most fun, even though for me personally it's been the most stressful.
Which aspect?
Well, because I do everything on set. I mean, I have a little bit of help, with not having PAs, but me and Matt do everything.
Are you doing lighting, gaffing?
We
and
do
that?
all of it, man.
Really?
We
You have
have,
the equipment, or you're renting?
yeah, Matt owns all the equipment.
Damn.
So, I mean, between me and him, we're doing everything. So, it's really stressful. And then, last couple of days we shot, I was doing makeup too. I was having to do makeup, wardrobe. I had to make the zombie outfits, the clothes. I spent weeks making their costumes. I mean, it's everything from location scouting to just, we're doing all that shit, and Matt's having to go out and spend all this money stocking his car up with food to feed these people. And
He's doing
we're doing everything. He's doing
craft services.
everything.
Yeah.
We're doing it all. The two of us do everything. So it's like, it's very stressful, but at the same time, I like it. It's fun. I'm having fun while I'm doing it.
It's a great stress.
And yeah, it's not the kind that you dread. Even though I know it's going to be a hot day and it's going to be hard.
It's because
I like
you're
doing
stressing because you care so much.
Right. I just want it to be. I want it to go well, and and so. But being with the other actors, and especially when you see an actor, a really good actor, saying the lines that you wrote and delivering it exactly, if not better, than what you imagined it sounding like. That's the coolest feeling. I really dig that. So that's one of the fun parts when I'm not in a scene with them and I can just watch these actors performing. I'm like, man, that's fucking good, dude. It's inspiring. And I always feel like I suck. Like, God damn, these guys are so much better than me.
Right.
But then, when I'm editing, I'm like, okay, I'm holding my own. So, but that was always.
Do you edit
really fun.
yourself?
I edit myself. I like to edit, and that's going to be the thing I think is the most satisfying is once the scene comes together, and I've edited it, and there it is. I wrote it, and then I edited it.
How many takes did you take for that 30-minute short?
Oh God.
Per scene.
Sometimes
I'm talking per shot.
Well,
Let's go per shot.
Here's the thing, man. Is in the beginning,
Like the variances, like say,
Yeah.
like one shot.
some scenes we didn't have a choice. We had to get it in one take. Like,
course.
because you're running out of daylight, you got to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes when the more dramatic scenes, we and camera setups and shit, sometimes it'd be 5-7 takes. But
So
then,
most takes you did for like interior, because interior you can have the
Yes.
same lighting.
Most
and
of
then
this
still,
most of this movie is done outside in the woods.
Damn.
So we had to shoot from the same time. We had from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Now
That's
7
it?
p.m. we were out of time
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah,
me?
that's
You gotta
one-
shoot everything in 3 hours bursts.
per day. Yep. And some of the scenes we got there at like 7 in the morning. We shot all day. There's one part where we shot from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Right.
And we got even though the time of the day would stop, they didn't happen all at the same time.
Mhm.
So we were able to, the light could change. We were okay. And there were some days where we had overcast and everything looked fine, So we'd wait for clouds because it was too hot. I didn't have the luxury of a grip truck, so we didn't have.
Well, the thing is, the great thing about let me just give a shout out to Brandon Torres. He's a really good person when it comes to lighting.
Dude,
he knows it. He's
really good. His stuff looks fantastic,
Yeah.
So I mean, Death and Compromise is very lucky to have him. We didn't have that luxury. Either I was working the camera or Matt was working the camera.
Yeah.
So sometimes we had two of them. We shot them on Blackmagic cameras, so we had two, and sometimes both of us were filming at the same time when we had other
Just trying
actors.
to save time.
Trying to save time, get multiple angles, and boom. And one of the things that we had to do was
not shoot each other.
Well, not worry about audio. We ADR'd the entire film.
Really?
And that was fun. And I mean that seriously. I had fun doing it.
I don't even know how you do that, to be honest with you.
Well,
I've never really,
what we did
I've
was,
never done audio that extreme before.
Yeah, and we sound designed everything. We'd walk out. I knew what the scene was. We need 3 people walking on gravel. We would multi-layer walking on gravel.
Mm-hmm.
We need clothes rustle. We got clothes rustle. We got somebody getting hit. I'd go punch myself in the leg.
What is that called? The
Foley.
Foley, thank you.
Yeah. Foleying's a lot of fun.
I would love to do Foley.
It's a lot of fun,
that sounds
especially
awesome.
with some of the things like
especially
making the
if
zombie
nice
sounds.
Nice studio to Foley.
We didn't do it. We went out to
You went out and did
locations.
it?
We went to the woods where it was quiet because one of the scenes we shot was out in a park, and there was people having a picnic right behind us. Like, are y'all shooting The Walking Dead? And like, yeah, we're shooting The Walking Dead on these little cameras, and
right.
you
didn't have me saying there, hey, everyone, shut the fuck up.
No, we didn't have the luxury of having a crew.
Yeah.
So we had a few volunteers from the school. Matt's a film student, and so we had some film students come out. They busted their ass for free, so shout out to those guys. They were fucking awesome. And but there was sometimes life happens and they're busy, so it was just me and Matt, and his girlfriend would come and help us. So shout out to her too. She's been there quite a bit.
Do you want to give her a first name?
Devin Foster is her
go.
name.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So she's actually been.
I've met her
and
before.
she's been an asset, She's been out there helping, doing a lot of work, and she don't have to, and she does it. So mostly, hey, run to the car and get this, please. Can you go to the store and get this for us, please? So she's basically our PA, production assistants with
for sure,
all kinds of different titles of things that she's done to help us out, So I'm glad she's around. So yeah, so we did it is I cut the film together using the audio from the camera.
Right.
I got it all cut to when we're happy with it. And once you lock the film down, you bring the actors in to a controlled environment, which was Matt's living room. We use a shotgun mic. We set it on a boom the exact height away. We don't want them to be as close as what we are right now.
No.
We set it to where the boom was going to be at.
Exactly.
Well, they watched themselves on the screen and said the lines.
This is a mediocre condenser at best.
Yeah.
But whatever.
They said the lines the way they delivered them, and sometimes it takes hours to get that, and you have to reproduce the emotion, which is the hardest part.
That's what
one of our male actors was having kind of a problem because he did so well when he was there, and it took him getting that emotion back, and he'd never done ADR before. And he finally got it, but at first he was kind of like, "Oh, this is
nervous.
I'm trying to create this emotion again."
He's like, "I'm an actor, not a voice actor."
Yeah, so
it's a very different element.
Yeah, so
I'm more of a voice actor than I am an actual actor. I can act, that's fine, but I would much rather just be in a booth and just do it 100 different times, different ways.
I saw you in costume.
Oh yeah, I had this stupid character.
Yeah. So that's how we got clean audio because man, one of the things with low budget films is their fucking audio sucks, dude. And if you have a film that looks great but sounds like shit, no one's gonna watch it. But you can have a film that looks mediocre, as long as the audio is good, people will probably forgive it.
I think we had a good audio guy in
he's damn good. I got his information. Yeah, because I would much rather get it live than do that. I don't want to ADR. We didn't have a choice.
Well, I mean, having lavs really helps.
Lavs does help.
Yeah.
And so I definitely got his info because I'm like, hey man, you're local, right? It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you own this stuff. We're gonna talk.
I want to get him on my podcast soon.
Because
I'm gonna even get the DIT Justin on. Yeah, Justin and the AC, the Jacob. Yeah,
okay.
They're coming on as soon as they're done their projects.
Is that what? The dude that was on the laptop, he was doing DIT right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's what is it called? Digital information technician.
Yeah. I didn't know what he was doing over there.
Yeah. No, he was awesome. He was so cool.
He's just always
me
sitting.
and him room together.
He was always
great.
just sitting in the back, like on a laptop, like he's doing
dope.
something. He's like downloading the stuff. And
Yeah, he was taking dumps, dude. He's taking dumps. For those who don't know what that means, figure it out. I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
He's taking dumps.
Uh,
Yeah. Stay tuned for the next. With Dustin. Yeah, he's great. Or Justin. I always called him Dustin for the first half.
oh Jesus!
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah.
correct you.
No, he didn't. But Brendan always does. You know his name's Justin, right? I'm like, yeah, Dustin's cool. But,
Well, we're all covered in dust out here, so you know.
man, that church. I'll give a BTS hint. That sucked. That church was dusty.
Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
And I was falling on the ground. I spent most of my time slamming myself.
Most
on
of my
the ground.
days slamming myself on.
into the dust. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it made it look cool, so you know,
Yeah.
it's what it is. It's a great location.
Yeah. I'll give props to Christopher Knight for taking on like just art department and doing a very decent job.
I was very surprised because he's
Mhm.
a location scout, and so I was
It's
like,
location, and he also does the casting call.
yeah, I was
director.
very surprised. I actually commented on his Facebook page after I saw a lot of stuff. How proud I
Yeah.
was of him, seeing what he was able to do. I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah, I
wow,
shook his
you know?
hand like almost like the last few days. He's just amazing me left and right. So had to give him some credit. We had this after the actors left on I think it was Thursday. We stayed at the Buggy Barn and we kind of drank and I was like, hey, what's up, dude? You did great. And then we moved locations and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was the. Remember that I had to work on that Friday, so I didn't get to come out to
Mm.
do the day job on there. You know?
Yeah. Man, you were great every time you were on set. So
Well, I
For sure.
appreciate it, man. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, I all I do is I just try. You know. And
Yeah.
Since I'm used to making low budget films, I know I don't get frustrated like some actors can get frustrated with this. I know every heartache and headache that's going on with working on a time chasing the sun and limited budget.
mm,
And that was a very ambitious shoot. So getting what was done in that time frame is just a super accomplishment.
I think, for shooting 3 episodes in a week,
that's insane.
we got
And that was
a lot accomplished.
Yeah.
There's more to be done, but to be continued, my friend.
right,
Mhm.
exactly. I can't wait to see the finished product. So. And,
So, is there any other plugs you want to do before we conclude?
Nothing's really coming to mind right now. I mean, check out Among the Dead on Facebook, and check me out, William R. Instone on Facebook. I usually accept people. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't. If you're on my Facebook page, just know that I say fucked up things sometimes. I've refrained from talking political because I've just gotten in too many battles.
Same here.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's
Nowadays.
just, sometimes I'll speak my mind and I'll say what I think, and then I got 50 butthurt people.
Sometimes I'll say stupid things. Like I recently posted on Facebook.
I think I saw the one you're talking about. It was
The one I'll say it. I don't give a shit. People
I
are
said you
being
hate
weird.
yourself.
No. I had said if you were to marry, fuck,
Yeah.
or kill
Yeah.
a race of women, would it be black, whites, or Asians? And people gave me shit, and I was like, whatever, I don't care, But I would marry the blacks, kill the whites, and fuck the Asians, just in case you were wondering. And
Yeah,
you don't have to
answered it.
answer that. That's totally fine. But
Yeah.
I'll take that burden. That's me.
Yeah, I mean, over this last about the last year, I mean, I lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of battles because of my opinions,
Hmm.
and I constantly
you
would
have to
say, like,
be-
why are you so fucking sensitive, dude?
Yeah.
That's one of the problems I think
It's
we have
comedy. I think comedic most of my day.
Yeah.
I think about funny shit. I don't say it all because you can, and that's why I love Louis C.K. and Joe Rogan. They
Yeah.
can say whatever the fuck they want, but they're established and
Yeah.
they know they're kidding. But people don't. I mean, some people know me, some people don't. And, I've burned some bridges because it's just the bullshit I've said. But you know what? I don't
Right.
take it back. I can't
Well,
take it
one
back.
of the
There's no-
things
there's
was
no way.
I had a couple of actors, pretty established actors, have even told me, if you're gonna try to do this, you got to be quiet.
Yeah.
You really do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in line with what's the popular opinion amongst Hollywood liberals,
Yeah.
if you're not aligned with them,
Mm-hmm.
best to just be quiet. So that's what I'm looking at, because
Right.
I'm mostly not.
Notice how I didn't say the Jewish girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jewish girls are great.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Well, I'm just keeping my mouth shut around
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff.
For sure.
But that
And that's
Scientology
smart.
shit that you're talking about,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
them. And I know they're all about Hollywood, but fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit. Some of the stuff that they got going on. You can't even look at Tom Cruise on a set.
You're not supposed to. No.
You know,
Yeah.
even other Scientologists aren't even allowed to talk to him.
Well, they're not up his level.
Yeah, I was watching that.
You know how much money he dumped
that
on
chick
shit?
from The King of Queens was on
Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
was
saw that
telling
too.
that story like, oh my god,
It's crazy.
are you fucking kidding me? And then
Yeah.
I watched like a whole thing about her after watching the Joe Rogan interview.
Yeah.
I looked up some stuff on her
Scary.
life and the shit she went through and
Yeah.
the things that she was talking about with Tom. And I'm like, man, you know, he's a good actor, but Jesus Christ, dude, that's. And I can kind of see it, you know, when you get to
Right.
that level, you're treated like a god, you know, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's
He's
weird.
not even on the top, though. He's not number one. He's not number two. He's like the fourth or fifth.
Dwayne
ranked
Johnson's
guy.
number one. So.
That's my boy.
No.
He's not Scientologist.
No,
No,
but-
okay, that's my
no,
boy.
I'm talking about in Hollywood. The Rock is
He's
the number one
I-
guy right now.
Let's get Dwayne the Rock Johnson on this podcast.
Yeah, he's number one right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Yep.
But yeah, that blows my mind. That, you know, and I think, you know, we talked, you know, religion in the beginning, not really getting into it, but
It was mostly
this is
alien
But
stuff.
this is
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard, a goddamn science fiction writer that even said he wants to get rich. He'll create a religion.
Did.
And then, boom, these people are buying into this shit, saying it's a bunch of alien spirits that from this fucking volcano. I mean, the South Park episode's hilarious.
Yeah.
That they brought that shit up.
I like
And
that one. The one they did about the Book of Mormon.
The
which
Mormons?
actually
Oh my
I
God, that's
I have
hilarious.
the Book of Mormon right here. My roommate. is
Matt used to be a Mormon, so
Yeah.
it's pretty funny when we
Yeah.
talk about that shit. But
Dude, I read the first chapter of Nephi, and that was about it.
that
But,
is
you know, I still got the book.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, religion in general is just funny
Mm-hmm.
to me. You know.
Man, I was
Hell,
I was
think
born in
about-
Salem, Massachusetts, man.
Yeah.
Super pagan.
I mean, you got motherfuckers that are willing to blow themselves up for their religion. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? What if you're wrong? You know? So it's like,
the ones that took all the cyanide.
yeah, the Jim Jones people, the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Out
And there was
there.
another people. I don't know. I think they took cyanide too.
Yeah, they were the Comet people.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember what the hell
that
their
was like-
religion
was.
was.
that in the 90s?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. He was a crazy old man with these big bug eyes. Like,
It
what
was
the
like 30 people.
fuck
It was-
is that? They all
the-
killed themselves
yeah.
wearing, like, I think it was Nike suits or some shit like that. It's just weird how I don't understand how people can be so
Cults.
weak-minded they could get in a cult.
What's the difference between a cult and religion, man?
I mean, it's the same fucking thing. Pretty
No,
much.
see, everyone says that.
I mean,
a cult is a crazy guy that has a conspiracy and people follow them. A religion is when that guy dies.
I guess after he's gone, yeah. Okay. So that makes some sense, but to me, it's just
Crazy.
It's fucking wild, dude, how anybody can get into that shit. I mean, Charles Manson was alive. He had his cult. Yeah.
No.
And the people just, I mean, they thought he was Jesus because he was feeding them so much LSD. I mean, you know.
Oh, man.
I don't know. It's just, it baffles me that people could be so weak-minded to follow someone so blindly, you know.
Right.
I question a lot of shit, so I mean, I just don't get it, you know. But
Religion fascinates me, and I can't disprove or discredit anything.
right. I mean, I
Um,
went to church school, believe it or not, for a year when I had problems in elementary school with public schools.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So I had to go to a church school for a while, and I ended up
Body
learning.
slamming kids.
I ended up learning a lot about it, and I actually have studied religion quite a bit, and that's why when talking about the whole ancient alien thing, it kind of fascinated me because
Yeah.
some of the stuff they're bringing up, like, holy shit, that's right.
Dude, I love that whole alien conspiracy stuff, and you know I would love to talk more about it, but
Yeah.
I try to keep these videos about an hour and a half, and we're reaching about like an hour and 25. So
Cool.
Yeah, man.
It's fun, dude.
yeah,
So-
dude, seriously, anytime you want to come back, it's a pleasure having you. If you want to bring Matt on,
Yeah.
that'd be great. I'd love to pick your guys' minds again as a duo, considering you guys do so much together. So to have his side of the opinion would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have come this time. I just didn't I didn't know.
I didn't know that you were in touch with him. To be honest, but I didn't know you guys were, filmmakers together. That would be cool to do that. I want to get Brian and Jeremiah on, but I want to pick Jeremiah's brain before that because Jeremiah cracks me up. And then I got some future projects that I would like to work with him with. So, yeah, keep in touch, man, and yeah, let's do something maybe next month.
Sure.
Yeah, next month would be cool.
Yeah, I got the Frightmare the first of the month, so I mean after that I'm sure I'll have plenty of stories about how that shit goes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do like this time next month, so like end of May.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much, William Instone. It's been a pleasure. This is FoxMantis Radio, and thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, follow him on Facebook at it's William R. Instone.
William R. Instone.
Yeah, and also follow him on his short film
Among the Dead movie.
Among the Dead movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was that? How did we get? Did you private message you about that first film you did?
Yeah, just drop me a message on John. Just ask me about it.
Yeah.
And
it's a very fascinating film for those of you that are just tuning in about like schizophrenia and
yeah, that's gonna be the one I'm working on now. The first one, John was kind of touched on that a little bit, with imaginary friends and sociopath. And I'll probably have copies of John for sale at the Austin Indie Fest. It's going to be going on in November.
So. Did you do the art yourself, like for the cover, or is it just a DVD in a white case?
No, it's a full.
That's fucking awesome.
Art and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
We got the photos on the back and the synopsis and everything, and the credits down at the bottom. We had the barcode. It's a legitimate DVD. So.
Yes. That's amazing. And you said it's like a minute, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
That was the first cut. I got it down to an hour and 45 now.
Hour 45.
Yeah. It's an hour and 45 minutes now.
Do you have like the director's cut?
Man, I cut it on a Mac, and that Mac don't work anymore.
No.
So it's on a hard drive somewhere.
I'm such a PC guy, bro.
It's like, I got a PC now, so it's like I was cutting on a Mac when I first started with Final Cut. So, but what I'm cutting on with now is giving me so many issues. I'm probably going to switch back to Final Cut 10 and learn that now. So,
cool. Well, always a pleasure, man.
Thank
you.
you.
Don't be a stranger. Thank you so much. This is FoxMantis Radio signing off. Breaking news. You're the best. Bye.